Teeth.
Desnate, Mississippi, Churchill River.
Mr. Speaker, the Liberals have introduced legislation based on a political ideology that divides urban and rural Canadians rather than on evidence. Canadians want and deserve to be safe in their homes and their communities. This government should focus on finding solutions to gang crime, an area that both urban and rural municipalities are struggling with. Going after law-abiding Canadians will do nothing to reduce violent crime, Mr. Speaker. Can the minister explain how this new legislation will reduce gun crime and gang activity in my community of Meadow Lake and in all of northern Saskatchewan?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our government promised Canadians that we would strengthen gun control, and of course the Conservatives have promised the gun lobby that they'll weaken it. Mr. Speaker, there are three ways in which criminals get their hands on guns. They are smuggled, stolen, or diverted. And through the important and necessary measures of Bill C-21, we are taking strong action to strengthen gun control and to cut off the supply of guns to criminals. We're also introducing measures to remove guns from dangerous situations that could be made deadly by the presence of a firearm. Mr. Speaker, through investments in law enforcement and in our communities, along with the strong new gun regulations and legislation, we are keeping our promise to Canadians to help keep them safe.
The honourable member for Yellowhead.
Government's new gun confiscation bill is overreaching. Not only will the legislation confiscate real firearms from law-abiding citizens, but it'll also prohibit the sale of airsoft guns. One of my constituents owns a small sports shooting store that sells airsoft rifles. His livelihood depends on business from the local airsoft club. Mr. Speaker, why is this government going after airsoft guns instead of criminals with illegal guns?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And as I've said, we've promised Canadians that we will strengthen gun control, and we know that the Conservatives have promised the gun lobby they will weaken it. Mr. Speaker, we're also listening not just to those who profit from the sale of these firearms, but also to law enforcement who are tasked with the responsibility of keeping Canadians safe. For over 20 years, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police have urged the government to take effective action on replica firearms, including the airsoft devices that the member referenced. And when we published these new regulations, the CACP came out strongly endorsing those measures as necessary and important to keeping Canadians safe. Mr. Speaker, we will keep our promise of taking the action to keep Canadians safe.